Lexus of Wesley Chapel is giving us the 2025 Lexus IS 300 in imminent white pearl. The IS is scheduled for a medium refresh next year, and all of the F Sport receives updates this year. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to touch bases on the competition to see what is the difference? What makes the IS a better variant? Throw in some pros and cons and a problem that I have with the new IS. Bi-LED headlights with L-shaped daytime running lights, with an option for the triple beam LED headlights that integrate into the enlarged grille. Standard front parking sensors, but you do have to option a 360-degree reverse camera. And if you want to make it look even more performance-driven, you tick the box to the F Sport package. And that will also give you the F Sport suspension, but it's not going to change out the performance that's housed underneath the hood. You have to go into the IS 350 to get the V6 engine, which will give you an additional 70 horsepower more than the 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged that we're showcasing today. That's producing 241 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. But then the trade-off there is you're also going to be losing MPGs, basically around 1 to 3 MPGs less than the V6 variant, because here we're getting 21 MPGs for the city and 31 MPGs for the highway. Standard wheels an 18-inch. We have the premium package, which gives us these 19-inch alloy wheels. It also adds interior specs plus a moonroof, which I would tick the box for that because it does make this look a lot more sporty. The lower sill kind of flares out, especially towards the back door panel. Gloss black is going to be on the top part of the side view mirror. Chrome that's surrounding all the window housing. An all IS suspension layout will have a double wishbone, coil springs, gas-filled shock absorbers, and a stabilizer bar for the front with a multi-link and coil springs, gas pressurized shock absorbers, and a stabilizer bar for the rear. Take me to the problem that I have ultimately with the IS. When you're going to the base trim, it's nice that you're getting your feet wet. You're just a little bit over 40 grand, and it's a very stylish vehicle. But performance numbers, it's the least in class. Even going into the V6 variant, you would be spending over $50,000-ish to tack on some of the features to make it a little bit more luxurious in the interior. But then when you're thinking about the competitions, does it stack up to the Germans? Let us know what your thoughts are. Standard L-shaped LED tail lights that wrap around the whole rear with the glossy black. The lower gets the matte black, finishes off nicely. Dual exhaust finishers, so it wraps it up with that performance look. Standard reverse camera. Because we're in a Lexus, I would like to see it be a standard 360-degree reverse camera. But the nice thing here is you still have options, because when you're going into these pricing, typically you have to go up tiers in order to get certain features. That's not the case with Lexus. So you can get a base IS and spec it up, be under 50 grand, get all the luxury, the butter smooth ride, and you're getting the best MPGs amongst all the competition. Quick release going into 10.8 cubic feet of storage underneath the floor. Gets a spare tire and a split fold the rear bench. You have to go into the back in order to do so to maximize the cargo capacity by pulling these levers here. And that will fold down at a 60-40 split. The key fob to the IS. Because we have the premium package, we have ventilated front seats, heated front seats, 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver, new look seating, 8-way power seat adjustment for the passenger. The premium package adds the memory seats for the driver. And the interior hasn't changed much since 2013. Let's fire it up. The dashboard with a standard 8-inch infotainment screen. It is a touch screen, so that's a nice attribute. You also have the touchpad right here and the standard reverse camera. The trajectory does expand out and you can change the different camera layouts. 10.3 is an option, as well as the upgraded sound system, auto-dimming rear view mirror, LED interior lights. The moonroof is part of the premium package, going into a CD player, and I actually like this because look how quick you can adjust the temperature speed for the climate control. CD player, I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. I'm okay with it. Some people are not. Heated leather wrap steering wheel is also part of the premium package. It's a 3-spoke multi-function. Paddle shifters are standard on all trims. The gauge cluster has a TFT display that can go through an array of different information and safety settings for the driver. And the driver mode select is going to be right here, which will have eco and sport mode, or just push it in for normal mode. You have to option for a wireless charging pad. This is going to be soft to touch. It opens up into a medium-sized storage pocket with 2 USB ports and a 12-volt. And it's not really a driver-focused setup, so I like that because leg space is still optimal for the passenger. Circular air vents and Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. And as for headroom, you have plenty of it. I'm at 6'3". Door panel and dashboard configuring together nicely. One touch up and down for the windows. I like the pattern that comes into play. It's soft to touch pretty much everywhere with a long storage pocket and a beverage holder carved out. And because of that premium package, we also have the power sunshade for the rear. For the back seat, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and armrests because of that premium package. Air vents, storage behind both of the front seats. The door is going to be stripped of the pattern, but it's still soft everywhere where it needs to be, and there's absolutely no storage in the door pocket. And sitting behind me, leg space isn't really compromised. Do I fit here? It's a little bit more tight, but my head isn't hitting the headliner. Sliding into the center, you have a huge hump here, so you will definitely have to share some feet space. Butt, leg, and shoulder space is going to be the same. Comparing this against the Germans and even Genesis, it's going to be a lot more cramped sitting here, especially with the hump, and a lot less storage capacity. The IS, you have 3 different engine options with 0 to 60s that go as low as 4.4 seconds and as high as 6.9 because we have the rear wheel drive today. That's what we're showcasing. You can also change the suspension layout to make it a little bit more dynamic. Let's see how the IS 300 performs. Butter smooth ride, even with 19-inch wheels. Not the best with dynamics, but it feels playful. Weather conditions are not necessarily the best either. In the weight distribution, 54-46, it's actually not that bad. It's pretty close to a perfect 50-50 balance. So I actually applaud Lexus for giving such numbers to a base trim, because typically you're not going to be spending $40-ish thousand to get something with this much potential. 241 horsepower, it's enough to motivate it with 258 pound-feet of torque. I like that it's paired with the 8-speed automatic transmission, and you have the option of getting an all-wheel drive, which will shed that 0 to 60 by 0.8 seconds. So that's actually a pretty good increase in performance. Visibility is good. It feels like a little sports car the way you sit in. The seat cushions are also very soft. Quietness in the cabin. Maneuverability, not an issue because it's not that long or wide of a vehicle. It's going to take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros is when you're going base trim, you can still option features to get pretty much everything that you would like in the IS without sacrificing for MPGs. Now, it's not going to be as fast as the V6 or the V8 variant, but that shouldn't necessarily be part of the equation when you're looking at an IS 300. The con is you're not getting standard navigation, you're not getting a standard upgraded sound system. You have to option features like the ventilated seats, the heated steering wheel, the power rear sunshade. Some of these things I kind of wish was standard because this is a Lexus, and when I'm going into the base Lexus, what makes me go this brand opposed to going to Toyota? Braking is good. Doesn't feel heavy whether you're mashing on the gas or the brake pedal. So that is definitely some concern that comes into play with these smaller 4 turbocharged engines, but Lexus just gives you what you need as overall value, plus enough motivation to get it moving forward. Going on a long journey, I can see this definitely being a pro because you can just relax. You can rest your legs on the center cluster and on the side door panel. The con is the butt area isn't long enough for somebody 6'3". You don't have any manual cushion extensions. These are things that would make it a little bit more comfortable because they do a good job with soft materials where it needs to be. Some other cons is in the back seat, there's no storage in the door pocket. It's very light in storage as it is. It's a lot more tight than most of the competition. The front is getting quite dated. They do need to do some updates. It hasn't been updated forever, and that is an issue that ultimately happens with the Lexus line. Radius at a stop point, it's about 1.5 lanes. Well, let's rock and roll. And you're doing this still getting great MPGs compared to the competition. That's why I like the IS, and the fact that you can make this as unique as you want, and you don't have to go up into a bigger engine variant, so you won't compromise yourself on MPGs, but yet you're not sacrificing in the luxury, even though in some areas for the interior they sacrifice, but as for the comfort ride, Lexus nails it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, memberships, live stream, TikTok, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Lexus of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2025 Lexus IS 300 for our car review.